One dog was euthanized following a respiratory illness at the Animal Foundation.
Flight attendants guaranteed more rest time following new FAA rule.
And everything you need to know about Biden's student loan forgiveness plan.
Now, news that matters to you on campus and beyond. Live. You're watching Studio G.
Thank you for joining us today on Studio G. My name is Hector Solomon.
And I'm Christopher Clark. The Animal Foundation is on high alert following the death of one dog from a respiratory illness called strep zoo. The foundation is quarantining dogs that have symptoms or may have been exposed. They've notified other shelters of the illness, but are worried due to lack of access to veterinary care. Any animal that was fostered from the foundation is encouraged to stay away from public places, including outdoor walks.
CCSD Superintendent Jesus Jara requested a contract extension and a raise after receiving an A-grade evaluation just last week. The CCSD board is voting later this morning on whether to renew and extend Jara's contract until 2026. Jara has since said, quote, "I look forward to continuing to lead the district with the Board of Trustees and our 40,000 employees as we all focus our collective efforts on improving student outcomes and their well-being." Under the amended contract, Dr. Jara's salary would increase to $395,000 a year. We will have updates following the conference tomorrow morning.
The Clark County Commission unanimously voted yesterday to begin a housing development on top of Blue Diamond Hill in Red Rock Canyon. The Clark County Commission unanimously voted yesterday to begin a housing development on top of Blue Diamond Hill in Red Rock Canyon. This development will include 429 homes in the area, which raises concerns for cyclists and runners' safety. Despite this pushback, the proposed development will be within the semicircle of State Route 159.
And other constructions that got the green light. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints announces a second temple in Las Vegas near Lone Mountain. Nevada is home to 180,000 members and 360 congregations, making up 6% of the state's population. This will be the fourth temple in Nevada, but church leaders have not announced when construction will begin, nor when the temple is expected to open. And now, let's hear from Jade with the weather.
Today we have another hot one with a high of 92 and low wind speed, so it's going to be very hot. And for across the valley, we have temperatures in the 70s once again, but later on today, those are going to rise and get hotter. Also, today is National Walk to School Day, so parents, let your kids walk to school. And after school, if it's safe, let them walk home from school. Please be safe, but just know it's a beautiful day to walk. Stay tuned for later in the show for your weekly weather rundown. Back at the desk.
UNLV is hosting a blood drive today and tomorrow to donate for Hurricane Ian relief. The blood mobile will be parked in front of the CBC buildings from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. All eligible donors can schedule an appointment through donors.vitalant.org and entering the blood drive code UNLV. Walk-ins are welcome, and remember to bring a photo ID.
The Kerkorian Medical School is now open. The facility is going to double its enrollment to make room for future doctors in Southern Nevada. Barbara Atkinson, the school's Dean Emeritus, says the facility will continue to evolve as medicine evolves as well. The 5-story campus is located in the heart of Las Vegas's medical district near UMC.
Back on campus, the game bingo got a little bit more glamorous. Rebel Events Board is hosting their annual drag bingo in honor of Las Vegas Pride Month. Games will go from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Student Union and is free to all students. For more info, you can follow @RebUNLV on Instagram.
And some of the top NBA draft prospects are in Las Vegas. Are they better than advertised? We'll show you coming up.
This is CJ, CEO of CJ's Produce. I'm the muscle, she's the brains.
It works.
My great-grandfather acquired Brantley Estates in the early 1950s. Mama Tia is my grandmother. She was actually the first in the family to get vaccinated. I was afraid. I came up with every excuse. My grandmother got her shot. I saw how strong she was. Why can't I? CJ needs his father to show him how to become a man. So I am fully vaccinated. I have somebody counting on me, so we made the leap.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
Applications for President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan is expected to go live as soon as this week. Those who earned less than $125,000 in 2020 or 2021 or made less than $250,000 will see up to $10,000 in federal student loan debt forgiveness. Currently, there are at least 3 lawsuits blocking the Biden administration from implementing its plan. The Department of Education warns borrowers of scams and encourages people to only work directly with the U.S. Department of Education.
It's been just over 100 days since the overturning of Roe v. Wade.
President Joe Biden has announced new guidelines on reproductive rights with a task force.
Congressional Republicans are doubling down on the extreme position with the proposal for a national ban. Let me be clear what that means. It means that even if you live in a state where extremist Republican officials aren't running the show, your right to choose will still be at risk.
This all comes close to midterm elections, with Biden pushing support towards Democratic candidates to preserve current access to abortions. The new White House report displays a bill to codify Roe into federal law.
It does, however, acknowledge the Democrats' small majority in the Senate, making it difficult for midterm elections will be taking place on Tuesday, November 8th. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is the second most common cancer in women. Individuals can show their support by honoring survivors and those who lost their battle by wearing pink ribbons. UNLV's resources for breast cancer can be found at the ComPsych website for students to register using the organization web ID, which is UNLV-EAP. Information about different types of breast cancer screenings, treatment, and prevention can be found at this website.
And it's also Cybersecurity Awareness Month, now in its 19th year. Organizations are talking to their employees and customers about staying safe online. The 4 themes are multi-factor authentication, stronger passwords, software updates, and recognizing and reporting phishing. To learn about staying cyber smart, visit CISA.gov. And flight attendants get more rest time under a new FAA rule. CNN reporter Chris Gwen has more.
For years, frustrated flight attendants have been pushing for change.
This started in the late 80s as flight attendants were identifying the problems with fatigue.
Flight attendants flying fatigued, sometimes on back-to-back flights, all while being on the front lines in the skies.
Sometimes the flight attendants are the first person that a passenger sees when something goes wrong. We are the first person, after they pass through security, after they check their bags, We have to deal with the brunt of the frustration in airline travel right now.
Compensate us. Give us the rest that we need.
Now, the FAA has announced a new rule that extends the minimum mandated rest period for flight attendants from 9 to 10 consecutive hours between shifts when scheduled for a duty period of 14 hours or less.
Flight attendants had even fewer rest hours than pilots. I worked alongside them, travel with them, and I can tell you firsthand that well-rested crew members are important to safety.
Despite the big win, airline activists say their fight is far from over.
We continue to make this one standard of safety and continue to press forward to ensure that this minimum rest is also applied for cargo pilots.
This comes after a week after Las Vegas airline workers protest for better working conditions. The new 10-hour rest rule goes into effect in 90 days for several airlines, including Southwest.
And now, this is Studio G weather.
Welcome back. The sun is already brighter and it's already hotter outside. For our weather headlines, we have mostly clear skies with low cloud coverage and dry heat. There's not a lot of humidity in the air, so make sure you stay hydrated. And we also have very low speed wind today. For our evening planner, we go from 90 to 75, which is similar to yesterday. So if you want to take that nightly stroll, 9 o'clock to 12 a.m. is your best bet, but be safe. And for tomorrow morning, the sunrise temp is 70 degrees. So if you missed walk to school day today, you can do it tomorrow because the weather is going to be beautiful for that. And our 7-day, we have temperatures in the low 90s and lows in the high 60s, which is tapering off a little bit. We're hoping to see more 80 temperatures later on in the week. And if you have nothing to do tomorrow, our women's soccer team has a tailgate before their game. Game time is at 7 p.m., but beforehand, go get yourself a hot dog, hang out with your friends, do it all. That's all we have for weather. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you so much, Jade. And a new shopping center has come to town. The Uncommons LV is opening up off Durango and the 215. The Uncommons is revolutionizing the workplace experience with modern office buildings, well-known restaurants, and entertainment. Earth Cafe is one of the restaurants that are already open. And for more information, visit uncommons.com.
Dancing with the Stars makes a stop here in Las Vegas for its upcoming 2023 tour. It is set to take place at the Palms Casino in March. Many of its notable cast will star in the show. The tickets start at $59 and go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster.com.
A new era of entertainment takes over the Wynn with the premiere of its new show, Awakening. The spectacle will debut on November 7th in a custom-designed 360 theater.
Time in the place that never was. Light. Darkness. And from the space between them, magic was born.
Follows the quest of a heroine and two travelers to help reunite lost lovers with mystical choreography and an original score. Tickets to the show are on sale now on awakeninglasvegas.com. Now let's send it over to Dom for a look at sports. Dom?
Last night was a night of new beginnings.
The Clark County Museum has a village of historical Las Vegas homes. This includes the last pioneer home that stood in downtown Las Vegas. Inside the homes, mannequins are staged to replicate how households used to operate back in the day. The mannequins are changed out every month and more recently are dressed up for Halloween.
And as Halloween takes over, Las Vegas mannequins, Stranger Things is taking over a house in Illinois. CNN reporter Evelyn Holmes has more.
Things just got stranger for the suburban Plainfield Halloween display of the same name after complaints from a lone neighbor forced the creators of the house haunt to close it for now.
Everyone seemed okay with it until they weren't.
Paying homage to the popular Netflix series, Appel dreamed up the spooky seasonal setup displayed in their front yard. It replicates a scene from the show and features a lifelike mannequin dressed as the character Max Mayfield, appearing to hover in mid-air.
It was just really cool. We saw it on TikTok. We just thought it was so cool that you couldn't see any wires or anything.
The family says the video of the display they posted on TikTok not only got more than 14 million views, with everyone wondering what's keeping Max afloat, but also some unwanted attention from one neighbor who at first they said was okay with their display when they asked for permission to put it up.
It's upsetting, to be told we support you, we're behind you, we understand why you're doing this, and to have that blow up in your faces.
Possibly angered by the crowds and the popularity of the display, the family says that one neighbor has accused them of bringing negative attention to the neighborhood, endangering the community's children, and making the neighborhood a target of possible home invasions because of all the spectators. Other people who live here don't agree.
It's just all families coming out to see such an amazing setup.
The Stranger Things Halloween display remains shuttered for now.
Let's send it over again to Dom for a look at sports.
Thank you, Chris. Last night was a night of new beginnings and first, and even a first for me just now, first technical difficulty live, but let's just get right into it. Now, the Vegas Golden Knights, they continued their preseason action against the Arizona Coyotes Tuesday night, and well, the Coyotes gave the VGK a fight, tying the game on 2 separate occasions, but William Karlsson's goal late in the third that you're seeing on screen, and goaltenders Aiden Hill's 50 saves lifted the Golden Knights to a 4-3 win.
I really like our defensive system so far, and honestly I feel like I had 53 shots tonight, but a lot of them were kind of from the outside. Guys were boxing guys out so I could see the puck from the point, and guys weren't getting sticks on it, so that goes a long ways as a goalie, and when there's a few loose rebounds, guys cleared guys out, so I thought the team did a great job defensively still.
Now the G League Ignite, they played their first game at the Dollar Loan Center last night against the Metropolitans 92. The top 2 NBA draft prospects, Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson, they absolutely lit it up last night. Scoot Henderson dropped 28 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. Victor Wembanyama, he dropped 37 points, had 5 blocks, and grabbed 4 rebounds on the night. The Ignite take the victory 122-115. And for more on the Ignite, check out the Rebel Report with Jade Thomas and Jared Feldman. And we're going to stick it to the hardwood. The Los Angeles Lakers are back in town for some preseason hoops. The Lake Show will be playing preseason basketball at the T-Mobile Arena this week, starting tonight against the Phoenix Suns and finishing Thursday night against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
High fly ball, deep left. There it goes, soaring into history. He's done it. He has done it. 62.
And Aaron Judge makes history. Tuesday night, he broke the American League single-season home run record. The record was previously held by Barry Bonds, who set it during the 2001 season in the midst of the steroid era. But today marks a new day in baseball history. That's all I got for you guys for sports today. Back at you at the desk.
Food delivery robots have made their way to campus, known as personal delivery devices, or PDDS. The robots are aware of traffic and pedestrian rules, including stop signs, traffic signals, and yielding the right-of-way, They will operate within the University District, and you can download the StartShip food delivery app on the Apple and Google Play Store.
Are you interested in being on the radio? We have Ryan Gilder here to talk about Rebel HD2 and World College Radio Day next.
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart, and so they need you to stand with them.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Dear moms and dads, we know it's not always been easy, and it's been a lot of hard work. What you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas. Everything I do it for you. Mom, love you always. No, it's true. Everything I do it for you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
It's going to take more than just us. It's going to take the community, the world, to help us make a change.
Ryan Gilder here, the president of Rebel HD2. First of all, thank you for joining us, Ryan. I'll start with what is Rebel HD2, kind of explain that to the audience and what it can do for students and things of that nature.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Chris. So the Rebel HD2 is the student radio station here at UNLV. So we have 2 different radio stations here, actually 3 at UNLV. We have an HD1, an HD2, and an HD3. So the HD1 is a jazz station that is a public radio station that is actually 91.5 FM. And the HD2 is the student radio station, which is a bunch of students. It's a club, and we put up content like podcasts, student talk shows. The music that we play is top 40 music, and we also broadcast sports games on the Rebel HD2.
Okay, awesome. And I read something very interesting that you guys are about to get a lot of coverage here with World College Radio Day coming up. It's on October 7th. Kind of talk about that, like what is the significance of that for Rebel HD2?
Yeah, it's a big event. So World College Radio Day is where all college radio stations all collaborate together and have one day where they go over one theme. And this year's theme is Voices of Peace, and it's gonna be a very cool day, and also it's super cool that we can contribute with all the other college radio stations.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. So one thing that I always hear, right, from just so many people is that radio is dead. Radio is going out of business. It's no longer relevant. It's all about broadcast these days. What do you say to those people who say that?
Well, the first thing is that radio will never be dead. It's the only type of media that can actually never go away, because radio waves will always be here. It will never go away. The first form of media was radio, and the last form of media, when there's an apocalypse one day, God forbid, would be radio. Like, you won't be able to watch TV. The signals won't be there, but the radio will always be there for you.
Facts, right. So another thing I want to know about is the future. What is the future of Rebel HD2? Because I see you guys going around, you're promoting the business. What is the future of it?
Yeah, so the future of the Rebel HD2 is, it's been growing for the past couple of years. We've been growing in sports coverage, we've been growing in music coverage, we've been growing in our podcast section. What our goal is for the future is to continue our sports coverage, get more events, try to cover some away games here and there, so we get some of our students to know how it is to travel and broadcast games. Then for the music side of things, it's mostly going to be the same. Our music's been doing really good so far, but but I want to include more podcasts and hear more student voices on our student radio.
Okay, and are you guys are like actively recruiting? Because I know you're the president. Like, talk about how you got that role. How did you apply for that?
So for the president of the Rebel HD2, since I was a freshman here, I've contributed to the radio station. I met Ray Fletcher early on when I was a freshman, and he was the former president of the Rebel HD2, and he's done an amazing job giving me a good building block to go with for this year for the Rebel HD2. And when I was going to my second semester of freshman year, Ray told me, hey, I can only have this spot for 1 year. I want you to run it. And I took it and I said, hey, I really want to do this. This is a great opportunity, not just for me, but everyone at UNLV.
Yeah, awesome. So what are your like future plans after you graduate? What do you plan to do?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty open-minded right now. It's mostly going to be sports media is what I'm thinking of, but who knows, maybe an opportunity will come up somewhere else. But my dream job would be being a play-by-play or color broadcaster one day for one of these local Las Vegas teams.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Ryan, for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on, Chris.
Experience. Okay, so now back at the desk where Hector is going to tell us about Boo Bash.
Thank you, Chris. As we get in the spooky season, we have some ghouling events here on campus. On October 24th, UNLV will host Boo Bash, a UNLV campus life traditional program that serves local underprivileged children and the UNLV community. This year, Boo Bash will celebrate its 24th year and will take place in the Tonopah complex. There will be a haunted house and an outdoor carnival, and Boo Bash is looking for volunteers for the event. If you are interested, check out Boo Bash on Facebook. We will be right back.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
UMergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. UMergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. UMergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your UMergency app now.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
This just into the newsroom. Robert Tellis has been removed from the office after being charged with killing Las Vegas journalist Jeff Gehrman. This comes after the court decided to postpone removing Tellis earlier last week. The country will now move forward in appointing someone to fulfill the end of Tellis's term, which expires January 1st, 2023. Thank you for joining us today on Studio G.
Be sure to tune in for more news.